Good morning, good morning, good morning. We need you to jump on this morning. It's a beautiful Saturday. We are so excited to have you here. We're going to give everybody a few moments to come in, and we're also excited for you to share. So we need everybody to come in on this beautiful Saturday morning. We have a special guest today. We are excited. We are thankful. We are looking forward to it. So please come on in, and please, we want you to share. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are here reporting live, the Crater Big Brother Mentor Program, and today we have a special guest. We want to make sure everybody is tuned in.
Yes.
It's going to be a blessed day.
Yeah.
We are excited. I don't know about you, so I need you to log on right now. I need you to share. Please hit the share button. Please say hello when you come in. We want to feel your presence here today. We are talking specifically about our young black and brown men, some of the things that they are experiencing, and through the lens of the strong black mother that are having to brunt the load in the household. We want to hear their perspective. Today we want to learn. We are excited. It is going to take a village for us to change all the stuff that's going on right now, and it starts with us.
Yeah.
So please come on in, speak to us when you come in, and share.
Good afternoon, Facebook friends. I'm Daryl Crater, the director of the Crater's Big Brother Mentor Program, and welcome to another Saturday Live. We have an exciting show today. We're going to move on. I'm going to give you our mission statement, which is the 6 P's, which is proper preparation and practice prevents poor performance. And we do have another statement that said a man never stood so far till he reached down to help a child. Our assistant, Ahmad, couldn't be here today. He had to work. So we got Minister Ralph Mercer sitting in for him today. Ralph, you want to come in and say something now? Introduce yourself.
Thanks a lot, and welcome to the platform. We have a great plan. We have great plans for you today. I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Please come in, speak to us. Give us that good morning. We want to hear from you, and please share. Hit the share button.
Yeah, we have a young lady today that's coming on that's an author, Tosha Smith Mills. She wrote this book, Mama, I Should Have Listened. Great book, good read. I started reading it myself and just got engulfed in it. It's a fantastic book. It's from different perspectives. It just gives you ideas, and it's just a great book. You need to get this book. I'm telling you, it'll help you out.
Amen. I want to talk about our shirts. We're running out of the shirts, but we have our Crater's Big Brother Mentor shirt. As you can see, Black Lives Matter, and on the bottom of it is the 6 P's, proper preparation and practice prevents poor performance. And on the other side of the shirt, you see our logos, Crater's Big Brother Mentor Program. If you'd like to get a shirt, you can dial 888-201-3935, or you can go to a website, Crater's Big Brother Mentor, CratersBBMentors.org, and you can order the shirt. Go to shop, and you can order the shirt, and it'll come right straight to you. Also, we have the mask. Ralph is displaying the mask. We have the mask, which we're still wearing the mask. We're still doing the safety, and we're still following the CDC rules. And you can order a mask, the same procedures. You can dial at 888-201-3935, or go to CratersBBMentors.org website, where it says shop, and you can order these items.
And they're adjustable, so it'll fit any size.
Also, like I said, we have a special guest in the house today, and we're going to bring her on shortly. But you can also donate if you appreciate this program, and we've been doing it for 27 years. We have mentored over 950 young men, and if you appreciate it and you want to be a blessing, and you want to donate, you can Zelle us at 708-257-8598, or you can call at toll-free number 888-201-3935, and you can do that. It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We accept donations. Matter of fact, Mercer will come get the donation. So we'll accept donations. But we've been out on the battlefields, on the walls, ministering and helping our young men, letting them know that they are somebody, they do mean something. I know Jesse had a saying that I may be poor, but I'm somebody. I may live in the ghettos, and I'm somebody. So we must encourage our young men and help them along the way. Set the tone and set the example. Because I believe if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And we want to be part of the solution.
And then again, we want you to share, share, share. You take this index finger right here, the finger of influence, that finger of accusation. Tell them that we are on right now. So you can get in touch with the Big Brother Mentors program by touching that share button and sharing. We need your help and your support. Share, share, share.
And I'm going to talk about our special guest that we have today, Tosha Smith Mills. This is our first pop-up featuring the author of Mama, I Should Have Listened, A Voice of Pain and Power. She's in the house, and we're having the forum today, and it's from 12 to 3. And if you would like, you still have time to participate. The tickets are only $15. You can pay at the door. We're located at Perfective Way Ministry, 2705 East 83rd Street in Chicago, Illinois. You still have time. She's going to be signing books. We're going to have a Q&A session. She's also doing it. She's a talent agent, so she's going to be looking for special talent today. Bring your young people. Parents come out and hear about her story with her young man that got 40 years in jail. She'll give you more details about it. But come on out and take advantage of this opportunity. Get you a book signed and listen to it. Get the experience from the person that went through it.
Yes, and we're going to have a Q&A a little later on, but you can enjoy and you can be in on this thing right now. You can get in on it. Just type in the comments section questions and things along that line, or you might have a comment or a question. Type it in, and you can share with us and get in on the question and answer period.
Chris, have anyone jumped on yet and want to give a comment? You can send some love, some thumbs up, comments.
Yes, we have some folks coming on. We got Miss McKinney. She has logged on. She said, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Ms. McKinney.
All right. Everyone that's logged in, we need you to not only say good morning, but we need you to share. If you know of a young man who might be going through something, or a mother who is trying her hardest with her young people, this is a powerful session today.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we all take something away from it and learn.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Right before we bring the speaker, I want to talk about, we have a couple things going on. We have the shoe drive, the Creators Big Brother Mentor Program 2021 shoe drive. This is to help raise funds by donating shoes. And this started in March. You go all the way till May. Drop off is 11571 South Wentworth, or you can call us at 888-201-3935 and we'll pick the shoes up. This is something that of double blessing, because we give back the shoes to Haiti and those countries, and it helps us with a donation too. Also, we have the chess going on, Black Boy Chess Boot Camp. We're looking to do a chess for Father's Day with the young men, the fathers and sons, and mentees and mentors. We're looking to do a chess tournament for Father's Day. So if you can volunteer your time, if you know how to play chess, so you want to volunteer your time to say, this is a way of giving back. I want to give back. Well, volunteer to teach our young men how to play chess.
Yeah.
Or if you have young kids out there, or young men want to learn how to play chess, just dial that number, 888-201-3935, and register and say, I want to learn how to play chess, or I want to teach the young man how to play chess. We want to make this a big event for Father's Day where we have a cookout and we play chess and come together. We want to show the positive things that are happening in our neighborhood. We hear about the negative, but we want to show the positive things.
Yes, we do.
Good morning, Miss Williams. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Walker. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, we need you guys to come on in, give us a good morning, and share. We are moments away from hearing from just this amazing author, Mrs. Mills, about our experience with her young man.
Yes, I also want to thank our host pastor, Pastor Eric White, for this opportunity. He shared his church with us today to allow us to do this. We want to thank him, and we want to thank Pastor Donald Meeks for the opportunity of letting this is where he has the services on Sundays, and we want to thank him for the opening door for that opportunity.
Yes.
Get your young people together. There's still time. There's still time to come.
Yes.
The tickets are $15. And it includes refreshments. We're going to have a raffle, and we're going to have a book signing and a Q&A. And you're going to hear from the author. Mama I Should Have Listened, and she's going to tell her story about her young man. And there's still time to come and take advantage of this.
Yes.
Don't waste this opportunity. There's still time to come.
Yes.
And she's going to be, I'm going to bring her in now. I'm going to bring her in now. You want to introduce her? Chris is going to bring her in.
All right. Happy Saturday, everyone. We have an amazing guest speaker here today. She is not only a CEO and talent scout, right? She is not only just an incredible, just person in general, but her love and commitment to young people, her love and commitment to boys and young men of color specifically. All right, she is the author of Mama I Should Have Listened. Today we have the honor and joy of hearing from Mrs. Tosha Mills. We are excited. I need everybody in the chat to make some noise right now. We are so excited to have her. She's in the building, coming from all the way from New Orleans to Chicago. I think we can do better than that. Come on, we need to get loud, make some noise. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here. This is my first time in Chicago, actually.
Wow.
And I have relatives here.
Okay. Well, we are so excited to have you. Your book has literally shook the country. It is more than just a toolkit, but it's just a powerful, powerful message from the mother's perspective, which one we usually don't hear from.
Absolutely.
So first and foremost, just you being here in the space today, how are you feeling? Like, how are you doing? I know it's been an unprecedented time for unprecedented creativity this last year. How are you today?
I'm actually good, and I'm actually glad to be in Chicago. You all at the mentoring program have been purchasing my books for the last 3 years.
Wow.
And so I decided, I wanted to come and meet with you guys. The last time Miss Debbie called and said, hey, we need to order some more books. I said, well, I'm going to be in Chicago.
Wow.
And it's so many times that I should have been here. One of my former clients, Jason Mitchell, on the Chai.
Okay.
He was on the Chai. I was supposed to come up here on one of his shooting days, and I didn't come. But I'm glad to be here now. God assigned this at the right time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So just to give you a little context about what's going on here in Chicago right now, we're coming off one of the roughest years for homicides, and mostly we're black and brown boys under the age of 24. We know right now 15 to 24 is the number one cause of death for black and Latino young men of color. What is the significance of you speaking life into black and brown boys, specifically the ones that have been justice involved?
The significance is my son got 40 years in prison at 17 years old.
Hold on, 40 years?
40 years for robbery.
For robbery, so not murder?
Not murder.
Aggravated robbery?
Aggravated robbery. No one was hurt. No one was killed.
And he had a BB gun, correct?
A toy gun.
A toy gun?
A toy gun.
40 years?
40 years.
Wow.
40 years. And so he violated. So I'm not saying that he shouldn't have gotten any time. He should have gotten some time. But 40 years, you're taking my child's life.
Wow.
And the significance of me being here and speaking to mothers around the country and kids around the country, especially black and brown kids, is to make sure that they don't make this same mistake.
Wow.
Because a lot of times we think it'll never happen to us.
Yes.
We're invisible. Oh, I can get away with this.
Wow.
But to be honest with you, we're all, including myself, a day away from prison time. Because
Wow.
this was what it was designed to be for us. So it's time that somebody comes and change the narrative and talk about what they have went through, what their family has been through. Because if I can talk about it all day long, I will. I don't want nobody to go through the pain and heartache that my family has been through.
Wow. So can you take us on a journey? I know your son, Blake, 17 years old, being charged with 40 years. Like that, I mean, mind-blowing. Can you kind of take us on a journey a little bit about, growing up in the household, a little bit about your story? I know you had Blake at 17. What was that experience like, and what happened? What was that pivot point where Blake took a different turn? Because we know that he went to Catholic school. We know he did ballet and football and basketball, and he was involved in a lot of stuff. What happened, and how did you meet the moment?
Well, I don't want to give too much of it away because I'm going to be talking about it today. And
Yes.
we talk about so much of it in a book. But what I will say is Blake grew up in a home with 3 of his brothers. I've always taught my kids to dream the painting and wake up and paint the dream. Basically, anything that you want to do, you can do it. Mm-hmm. Don't let statistics of being black and being a male fall upon you. Blake got involved. Blake's father had been in prison. And me not doing my due diligence, which I tell all young women now, raise your standards. Because when you don't raise your standards, you will fall like I fell. I fell for a drug dealer. And back then, hey, you know, we thought that was cool back in the 80s, 90s. You know, that's cool. You're dating a drug dealer. He's buying your clothes. So I thought. But what we don't realize is we have to grow up. And when we grow up, our kids are the product of what we were back then.
Wow.
Blake became that product.
Wow.
Generational curse is real. Regardless of everything that he had done, the ballet, the football, being in film, you know, he had just finished shooting a commercial with Michael Jordan.
Wow.
Run off to Texas, commits these robberies.
Wow.
And now we are here where we are today on a 40-year sentence. But I know that God is going to say something different because he doesn't have me out here doing this work for nothing.
Wow. Wow. So I know you talked a little bit about it took you 7 years to even muster up the strength to be able to tell your story. What can you, or what words of encouragement would you give some mothers who are struggling right now with trying to grasp with their sons, you know, growing up, or maybe doing stuff that, you know, maybe they should have listened to mom, but they're not quite listening right now? Like what advice to the strong black and brown mothers across the country who are carrying the burdens of trying to, you know, balance the household, but also to raise a young man of color?
It's hard. Nothing is easy. I remember the day that I decided to write my story. I was walking on the red carpet with my client, Jason Mitchell, at the Straight Outta Compton premiere.
Wow.
And we all know that Jason had a hard life. He looked at me and said, "Tasha, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you." And I said, "You shouldn't be here. My son Blake should be here." My son should have been playing Dr. Dre.
Wow.
He was the baddest rapper, the baddest dancer. You know, he was an actor. And all those accolades, he ran with the wrong crowd.
Wow.
He was part of the wrong crowd, but he was also a part of a generational dysfunction, which including myself. So I would tell all mothers, because after 7 years, that's when I came out with the story. I was lying, oh, Blake is in college, Blake is away. But I knew in order to save another child, another mother from enduring the heartache that I endured, I needed to talk about this.
Wow.
I needed to speak truth to power. I needed to be honest. I needed to tell them, yeah, I dropped out of school. I was involved with the wrong man. And it took me years later to go back and do something with my life, but everybody doesn't get that chance. Everybody doesn't get that choice. You can change the narrative of your life. It doesn't matter what environment you are in.
Wow.
You can change that. But I want mothers to know that you are in charge. A lot of times we parent in guilt, and parenting in guilt is the worst decision that you can ever make. Stand up, be tall, and raise your kids the way that you want them to live.
Wow. Wow. So you come out with this amazing toolkit manual, just a heartfelt story that's co-wrote by your son
Yes.
as well. Were you expecting to get this much? Like, I actually saw and heard about you on the Breakfast Club. You know, I'm a younger guy. I look at a lot of videos, but were you expecting for your story to explode like it has across the country? And what were you thinking after you started to get such a buzz?
Well, actually, I expected it.
Okay.
Because God said it to me.
Wow.
He told me to go out and help mothers that was carrying all this pain on their back.
Wow.
So I knew what I was going to do because God promised me that he would take it further. Because when I went through this, when my son got those 40 years in prison, I left out of that courtroom from a 6-hour drive from Texas to New Orleans, and I cried. I went home and tried to kill myself. There were no books that mothers were writing. There were nobody on the internet talking about what happens when a child goes to prison.
Wow.
So I needed to create that story.
Wow.
I needed to talk about it. And that's what I did. And when I did, I had people from Afghanistan writing me saying thank you.
Wow.
I had people from Japan writing me saying thank you. It wasn't just black and brown kids. Now, we have white kids that go through the same thing.
Wow.
But a lot of times it's in the poor communities.
Wow. Wow. So, wow, that's a lot. Wow. To our young men specifically, again here in Chicago, we are facing a lot of things going on right now. From our young men not having mentors, or are not feeling like their life is worthy, right? A lot of our young men, specifically here in the city, are living moment to moment, and we are starting to see how that affects their judgment when they're doing things, right? They're not thinking about how this can affect my parents, or how this can affect, my livelihood moving on. What advice would you give to young men who should be listening to mom right now, or should maybe take a step back and take heed to some of the elders in their life that do care about them?
Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is your mom is right even when she's wrong. She's going to love you regardless.
Can we say that one more time? I don't think they heard.
Your mother is right even when she's wrong.
Wow.
I'm going to say this to my fathers. Stand up and be a man. Your kid needs you. And when a father isn't in your life, that carries an effect, because kids are like a sponge that absorbs everything. People think kids are so resilient, but they're not. And it comes out later in life.
Wow.
There's some mistakes that I made. My son had to tell me while writing this book. And I said, oh my God, I'm not putting this in a book. I'm embarrassed. But to be honest with you, the chapter that he written me saying, Mom, you let me down,
wow,
was the most pivotal chapter that anyone could have ever read.
Wow.
It said a lot, because it told me about some of the mistakes that I made that I didn't even realize.
Wow.
I had 4 black boys in the same home, and they're all different. 3 of them never went to jail, but this one, the oldest one, the one that I cherished the most,
wow,
the one I put before God, the one I thought was my everything, this was the child that let me down because of the curses, what was on him.
Wow.
Generational curse is real. It's all in our DNA, and people don't realize that. So I tell also my young ladies, again, before you get involved with a man, find out where he came from.
Wow. So I know one of the things that has sparked the book interest is also the jail ministry, right? I know you've been out in Sacramento, and even at one point, like writing up to 40 young men, each individual letters, just letting them know that you're thinking about them, joining some of the book clubs at different prisons around the country. What has that experience been like?
Well, the first prison I went to was Folsom State, which is one of the most dangerous prisons, and outside of San Quentin, one of the most dangerous prisons in the country.
Wow.
And I really went there to be nosy. I wanted to know what goes on beyond the walls. But when I got there, out of all the places that I've spoken to in the country, that I found that to be the best experience of my life, because when you sit among broken people, you realize just how broken you are.
Wow.
40 men, and out of those 40 lifers, only 3 were not African American. So that says a lot to you. They were between the ages of 17 and 45. One man said to me, Mrs. Mills, I never believed in God until I read your book. When I read that generational versus environmental chapter, it said a lot to me, because I never knew my dad. My dad went to prison when I was 1.
Wow.
I went to prison when my daughter was 1, and my daughter just paroled out of prison.
Wow.
That spoke heavily to me. And then there was this other young man who went to jail for murder, 16 years old, was still a kid. He reminded me so much of my son. Mom doesn't write him, turned his back on him. Drug deal went bad. And when that drug deal went bad, one of his friends got killed. He didn't kill his friend, but he was in a commission of a felony.
Wow.
And what happened was he got life in prison, 25 years to life. He doesn't know when he could come out. But one of the things they asked was, Ms. Mills, how can I change this generational pattern? I said, you just did, because you made yourself aware. And when you're aware of something, you just don't do it. The whole universe and God is transpiring you, working hard to get you where you need to be.
Wow.
But you also have to work within those limitations as well.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but we are excited today. What do you hope that you traveling across the country, sharing your story, what is the ultimate goal for you? Like, what do you want? Today we're going to have a lot of young people, from the South and West side of Chicago, but just across the country in general. Like, when you step into those spaces, what is the expectation? What do you hope to get out? And what are you looking forward to talking to our young men today about?
I hope to be effective. I didn't come here to be famous. I came here to be effective. And if I have to go down in the trenches, I was teaching creative writing in New Orleans at the Orleans Parish Prison, where you had 16 to 24-year-olds that was in my class, feet shackled.
Wow.
Feet shackled.
Wow.
But what they were talking to me about was things that we all need to hear, and I'm going to share that today. They talked about their daddy issues. They talked about territorial issues. They talked about mommy issues. They talked about issues that we don't talk about in the Black community because we sweep it under the rug.
Wow.
Well, today we're gonna talk about those issues that they're sweeping under the rug.
Wow. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. When you think about a program like the Creator Big Brother program, who's been going strong for 27 years. I'm a product of the Creator Big Brother Mentor Program. I was probably in the second or third cohort, and ultimately having those strong Black and brown male figures in my life definitely made the difference. I'm 32 right now. A lot of my friends are either dead or in jail, and I am forever grateful. Can you tell the folks out there how significant it is to have Black male mentors, specifically young men or older men who are speaking life into you and helping you? Like, what is the significance of having strong mentorship in your life?
Strong mentorship is very important, not only for the young men, but for the young women as well, especially men that have been through those life experiences. They can teach you more than you'll ever know. We all think we know everything, but we haven't stopped living. I tell people all the time, you might look at TV and you say Kanye West or Meek Mill or Jay-Z, they have arrived. They haven't arrived because they haven't stopped living.
Wow.
And they're learning from older people. I'm going to say it like the young people say, older cats.
Okay.
Who have experienced this life that they haven't even lived yet. Yeah, they might be millionaires, but there's a lot to life that they haven't lived.
Wow.
And there's a lot to learning.
Okay.
And you learn each day from someone who's been where you're trying to get.
Yes.
Mentoring is very important because what it does is it gives them a stigma that takes away from the statistic.
Yes.
It teaches them how to be strong Black men, how not to take that route. What you guys are doing are great. I commend you. If I didn't believe in what you were doing, I wouldn't even be sitting here.
Wow.
So that's a testament to what they're doing at this mentoring program.
Yes. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys are getting ready. If you have logged in and you are listening, please make sure you are sharing. Please make sure that you are here, you are present. If you know of a grandmother, a mother, a father that is struggling with their young men right now just need some words of wisdom, we are asking that you guys come on. We still have time for you to get down here. We are excited. We are here live with Mrs. Mills. And Ms. Mills, you are not only just an advocate with this book, but you got a whole other thing going on too. So can you tell us a little bit about just some of the other work that you're doing? I know you're a CEO, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, we're shooting a documentary called Unheard Voices, A Mother's Quest for Freedom. Ooh. What we've been doing is we've been going around the country shooting mothers who are going through the trauma of having children that are in prison. Next week, we will be following one of our mothers whose son got life with parole, without parole.
Can you say that one more time? Wow.
Next weekend, we'll be in Texas following one of our mothers whose son got life without parole for murder.
Wow.
And she has relapsed. She's going through so much. She can't take the trauma of her son being in prison. So we're following her not only to prison, but we're going to follow her to rehab because she can't take it. This is a expectancy of life that you just don't expect. You don't expect for your child to go to prison. Wow. So on our documentary, we have followed 24 moms who are suffering from trauma of having a child in prison. We are following mothers whose kids were killed by police that you don't hear about.
Wow.
And one of our mothers' son was killed at 23 years old, a month before he was supposed to come out of prison.
Wow.
He was killed by a cellmate. And nobody cares about that. It's been a whole year and she hasn't had any answers from the Macon State Prison. So we're following her story. We're going to be protesting to get answers, and we're going to get the answers that we need.
Wow. So when we're talking about, speaking of, being shot by police, I know obviously this time in society is extremely rough as we, think about the verdict of the George, Floyd, of the Derek Chauvin trial, the verdict in the next few weeks, regardless of which way it go. I know that it's not only affecting, black and brown men, but also the mothers as well who might have a son or might have a little brother or a big brother or what has that trial or just that incident in general, like how has that impacted the work that you do? And what do you think we've learned from that moment?
What it has done for me is showing that we can change the narrative. We've seen George Floyd on national TV get killed. We've seen the tapes. What about the people voices that are unheard? And those are the voices that I'm showing. I have a tape of my mother, Tracy Knight. Her son was shot 10 times by the police.
Wow.
In Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Wow.
No one showed that story. Again, no one showed the story of the Macon State Prison killing. Nobody's even talking about that. So what that does is that gives credence for me to come out and say, look at what you all aren't seeing. Come out NAACP, come out Congressional Black Caucus, come out senators.
Right.
It's not that Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter too.
Yeah.
They matter too.
Yes.
We have been so accustomed not to worry about what happened to Black lives. Now we are worried. And all these things that are happening to the news, it's showing that we too have lives that we need to be worried about.
Wow. So I know, reading your book and hearing from some of your interviews, when you talk about pushing into some of the, different prisons and seeing that it's predominantly black and brown bodies, how do we stop that prison pipeline? Like what are some things that we can put in place to ensure that our fathers, our brothers, our uncles are not constantly filling up these prison walls?
The mentoring programs, education, coming to places like this.
Wow.
Who can show me that there's a better life out here, changing that narrative. We can be in our environment, but we don't have to live in that environment.
Wow.
But by coming to mentoring programs, they teach us. This is the south side of Chicago, right?
The South Side.
South side.
Yes.
And look how successful that you all are. So you can be in this environment, but you don't have to live it. Change the way your story goes, and you can. We don't just have to look at our brothers and our uncles going to prison, because 9 out of 10 times, the prisons that I visited, their dads are in prison. They'll tell you their dads are in prison, or even their moms are in prison. Their uncles are in prison. Their cousins are in prison. And so we want to, a lot of times we want to be what those people are. Let's change that narrative. Let's look outside of that. It's okay to look at the mentoring programs, to look at the men in our neighborhoods who are doing some good things. We have a lot of brothers who are out here that's doing some good things, that's following what God wants them to do.
Wow. So I know now we're in this digital virtual world, and it's really been awesome to see how we can impact change, from maybe being at our home, and, we can reach all the way across the world. How do folks that are interested in having you come to their city, having you come to their country, how do they get in contact with you, and how do we get this book in more hands across the country? You
can get the book at www.amazon.com. You can also go to my website and learn more about me, www.tosha, Tosha, Mills, MILLS.com. I'll be happy to come to your city. I just want to be effective. I come out, fund my own trips, because I want to see people live the life that they are supposed to live, not what they're constantly living. We can all come out of this poverty state. What this pandemic have shown all of us is that we cannot just live, but we can live a life on purpose. And that's what I'm doing. I'm living my life on purpose. So many people say, oh, I wish I had your life. But did you want to endure the pain that I've endured?
Wow.
I've endured a lot.
Wow.
Again, I'm a high school dropout. Had to go back to school, get my GED. Then I opened up a business. Wow. My son got 40 years in prison. I tried to take my own life.
Wow.
But it's okay, because God had an assignment on my life. And it's not what he has given me. My give back to him is what I'm giving to him. And that's one of those things is being here today.
Wow. Well, we know you have to get ready. We are excited about it. One last question for those young people who are not listening right now, who might think that mom's just trying to mess up their good time, who are saying, like, come on, like, you had fun too, right? Like, I got it. Like, what words of encouragement will you give them right now? Because again, like I said, in the city of Chicago, we have a lot of things going on. Obviously, and of course, that's across the country, in some of the low-income areas. But what words of encouragement can you give the young men that are not listening right now and that are still with us?
My son has a 40-year sentence because he wanted to be rebellious and did not want to listen. I encouraged him to live his dream the painting, and wake up and paint the dream. He did the opposite. He took the charge for 4 people who are out living the dream and painting their dream while he's living in a 6x9 cell.
Wow.
Is that a life you really want to live? You don't want friends who are going to encourage and applaud you for doing the wrong things. You want friends who's going to check you on the bad things that you do.
Wow.
Your mother, your grandmother is right, even when they're wrong.
Wow.
And now it's time to dream the painting and wake up and paint your own dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. Can we give Ms. Mills a round of applause for just being amazing? Literally, we have about 30 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a young person and they are close to you, and you want to grab them right now, we are encouraging you to come down right now. Perfected Ways Ministry, 2705 East 83rd Street. An opportunity to get the book, to talk to the author, and to get some sustainable solutions, right? To talk about some tangible things that we can take with us, so we can fix this thing, right? Our black and brown young men are more than enough. Everything that they need is already inside them. And today we are excited about Ms. Mills giving us the secret sauce to help us make it through. So again, we thank you. We are excited for today. Ladies and gentlemen, get here. Please share this, share, and we will see you soon. Everybody give her one more round of applause. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.